This is Google Apps Updates Roundup number 132. In this episode, I will show you more than 33 new features in 14 different Google apps. So make sure all your apps are up to date and let me show you what's new. Let's start the episode with Google Photos, and here I'm gonna show you 3 new changes. The first change is when you go to the profile menu, then settings, you will see a redesigned page that supports Material 3 expressive design language, and on the left you can see the old design. The only problem I have with this new change is some pages are still using the same old design like notifications and sharing, while others got updated to match the same design language, so I hope to see more consistency. Secondly, Google started to roll out the new floating design more widely, which I covered before, but there is one thing that I missed to mention in my previous videos. If you don't like this new floating design for the date, you can change this under the app settings, then preferences, then photos view, and turn on the show dates in grid, then go back to the main page. Now the dates appear within the grid like before, and they are still tappable if you want to select all the photos under the same date. The third and last change is under the Create tab. In my previous episode, I showed you the photo remix, and now Google created something similar for videos called Video Remix. And this feature is powered by Gemini Omni. Here you can see some of the templates right away to choose from. You can view all of them from here, which also gives you access to the photo remix styles, or you can tap on the video remix from here. Here is one of the examples. You can give your video an orange sunset glow, set my video in a greenhouse, and so on. So let me pick this style and choose one of the videos to show you how it works. It says here, select a section of the video, maximum 10 seconds, and you can move this selector the way you want. And once done, hit the generate button. So let's do it and see what's gonna happen. First, let me show you the original video, and now let's add the sunset glow to it. So here's the result, and as you see, it looks nice, but once I zoomed in, the scene changed a little bit. Also, you have the ability to give feedback, regenerate, share the video, or save it to your gallery. Next, Gcam. And here I'm gonna show you 4 new changes. Recently, Google released Gcam version 10.4, which got some visual refinements, starting with the manual controls. When I compare it to version 10.3 on my 9 Pro XL, you will see that the shadows now come first. The brightness got renamed to exposure. You'll notice also that the sliders are different. Now we have a tooltip with the current value, and all the increments are labeled with numbers. The icon on the right is different, and the reset button got a small design change, and the same applies to the shadows slider. And when I go to the photo settings, you will see that motion photo is back again and no longer part of the top shot feature. Next, Gemini. And here I'm gonna show you 4 new changes. The first change is the redesigned personal intelligence icon. When you look closely, you will see a small difference between the two. This one is open from the bottom, while the other one is closed. Inside the app, when you expand the side menu, it now goes edge to edge instead of the 3/4 design like before. Plus, we got this new X at the top right corner to close it. Back to the side menu, when you go to settings, then personal intelligence, then connected apps, you will see some new additions that didn't exist before. The first one is the business profile, which is located over here. It says Google Business Profile, and the description says manage your business profile with Gemini, analyze reviews, interpret performance trends, and update your storefront with ease. Then we have Google Play, discover and purchase apps, games, in-app items, and more from Google Play. And when you scroll even further, you will see new additions like Dropbox, Instacart, and Open Table. And lastly, when you start Gemini Live, you should see this new ellipsis at the top right corner that gives you access to choose a different Gemini's voice directly from here without the need to go to the app settings. On a side note, if you are interested in AI, it's time to look beyond the chatbots and into agentic AI. That's why OpenClaw has become one of the most talked about open source AI agents. And instead of just answering questions, it can automate tasks like writing emails, creating reports, and managing your calendar. But the problem is that setting up OpenClaw is complicated. It requires installing OpenClaw, subscribing and connecting your preferred LLMs like Gemini, ChatGPT, or Claude, not to mention that agentic AI can access your files and take actions, so setting it on your local machine might lead to deleting or moving files without knowing. But you can fix all these issues with Skywork, a unified workspace that integrates OpenClaw's capabilities out of the box. No complicated setup needed. The cloud virtual machine is included and ready, no need to pay separately for the server. You get access to top LLMs like Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Kimi, DeepSeek, and more. It supports 7 instant messaging channels like WhatsApp and Telegram to communicate with your AI agents anytime, anywhere. You can automate tasks like in my case. It generates a weekly report with all the new features in Google Apps from top tech websites with reference links in a table format, which saves me a lot of time. I also use automation to categorize my emails, filter out unimportant ones, and put it into actionable items. Additionally, its multi-threaded execution orchestrates multiple complex workflows simultaneously. You can run document generation, slide creation, and data analysis all at once without waiting in line. If this looks like something you would actually use, check out the link in the description. You can explore Skywork for free, and the link also unlocks up to 20% of the annual plan. And now let's get back to the video. Next, Google Maps. And here I'm gonna show you 3 new changes. The first change is the new AI generated card that gives you some really useful instructions about the place. So for example, when I go to the Grand Egyptian Museum and then scroll down a bit, we have a new section called Know Before You Go with the new tag next to it. And it's giving me here 3 instructions. Book tickets online through the official website to avoid scams and secure your entry. The museum is massive, so wear comfortable shoes and plan for at least 4 hours, and start your journey at the atrium to see the towering Ramses II statue up close. And if you want to know more about any of these items, when you tap on it, it reveals the reviews it generated this information from, so you can read the whole thing if you want. The rest of the changes are on Android Auto, and the first one is the bigger street labels to make them easier to read. And the last change is the less distracting alerts. I will not be able to show you this on camera, but here are some screenshots from 9 to 5 Google. Previously, the alerts used to push the UI to the right, which is a little bit distracting, but currently it appears between the directions and ETA, which gives you more space for the navigation. Next, Google Health. And here I'm gonna show you 3 new changes. The first change is the new stats widget, and here is how it looks in the widget preview. It's a 4x2 size, and here's how it looks on the home screen. This is the smallest size you can get, and here's the biggest one. You also get access to the app directly from here, or you can tap on the refresh button to update your information. Plus, you can see the last update time here at the top. Inside the app itself, when you edit the focus area using the pencil, you will see 2 different views. Standard, which shows up to 6 stats at the same time, or expanded, which doubles this number to 12. And once you start adding more than 12 items, that's when it creates a new page. And lastly, Google enhanced some of the features. For example, the hydration logging is now more precise. Plus, any nap more than 20 minutes now counts against your sleep. Before talking about the next app, if you like my wallpapers, go ahead and download the Wallpapers by In-Depth Tech Reviews app that will give you access to hundreds of exclusive wallpapers that will make your smartphone look stunning. You can download any of these wallpapers locally on device, so you can apply the wallpaper effects of your operating system on any of them. Plus, you have the ability to edit any of these wallpapers before applying or downloading, and you can edit them separately for the lock screen or home screen. If you want to give it a try, you will find Google Play Store download link in the description. And now let's get back to Google Apps. Next, Google Chrome. And here I'm gonna show you 5 new changes. We got 2 new changes in the overflow menu. The first one is the removal of the info button from here, and it got replaced with the back button. Previously, we used to have the forward button only. The second change is the addition of the side control controls menu item. Tapping on it reveals this menu, which is also possible by tapping on this button. The rest of the changes are on the desktop version. Now we have a gradient border around the profile selector page. And in the start page, we got two new changes. First, the shortcuts bar is now expandable using a show more button, plus the addition of the plus menu to the Google search bar, which allows you to use the AI functionalities right away from the start page. Next, Google app. And here I'm going to show you two new changes. Both of them are in the AI mode. The first one is when you go to the side menu, the ellipses next to the search got replaced with a gear icon. The second change is the integration with more Google apps like Google Drive, Calendar, and recently YouTube Music. So you can ask questions about your today's schedule, create a playlist using YouTube Music, or access your Google Drive files, which is very handy and makes it very close to using Gemini. Next, Google Drive. And here I'm going to show you three new changes. The first change is the addition of Ask Gemini to the AI Pro subscribers and higher. You should see the Gemini button at the top right corner. Tapping on it reveals the full screen interface, which supports a multi-turn conversation. You can also tap on the ellipses of any file and you will see Ask Gemini over here. Tapping on it starts with an AI overview about the file. You can also tap on this menu to include more sources from Google Drive, Gmail, chat, calendar, and the web. That gives you the chance to create a conversation dedicated to a specific topic, and you also have access to your conversation history as if you are using the dedicated Gemini app. Search got its own upgrades too. It's not only for locating files, but now you can ask whatever question you want and get an AI overview right in the search results. Once you get the feature, you should see this banner at the top saying Gemini Overviews now includes results from your workspace apps by default. Adjust your preferences anytime. You can do this by tapping on this button at the top right corner, which reveals an overflow card that includes Gmail, chat, and calendar. So you can ask whatever question you want about your files. In this case, I'm asking how much I spent on the fuel in 2026, and it will give me an AI overview without doing the effort to open the file myself and locate the number. The third change is on the web. Only on my paid account I got access to this new studio feature, which is used to create tasks for Gemini to handle on your behalf. The side panel includes three tabs. Under flows, you can see all the tasks and instructions you gave to Gemini. Activity includes all the actions taken based on these flows. And finally, discover for any suggestions. You can access the full version by clicking on Do More in Studio, which opens in a separate window with the header saying Automate your work with Gemini. From here, you can describe your task manually or pick one from the long list of suggestions. Each one reveals the app icons it connects with, which is nice. So as an example, I will ask Gemini to move all promotion emails to trash on a daily basis. So let's try it and see what's gonna happen. Once done, it gives you an overview about the task and all the actions involved. You can add a step or a sub-step manually if you want. You can test run the flow and also turn it on. On the right side, you get all the scheduling options, so you can choose the time yourself. Once you turn on the flow, it will ask you for identity verification, and you can get back to it at any time under the Flows tab along with the activity. Next, Google Play Store. And here I'm gonna show you two new changes. The first change is the addition of Play Shorts. When you scroll down a bit, you should see a separate section called Get Inspired with Play Shorts. It works exactly the same way as the YouTube app. You can scroll through the videos by swiping up and down like this. You can tap to play and pause. Here at the top left corner, you have an X button, then the app info, some hashtags, and in some cases, you might get a label based on the type of content. In this case, it says audio sample with a progress bar, so you can scrub through the video or install it on any of your devices directly from here. So this is a very handy feature to give you some updates about what's going on in Google Play Store. The second change is the wish list button is now visible at the top right corner without the need to tap on the ellipses like before. Now let's talk about the apps that only got one new change, starting with contacts. Now you should see this Your Info card at the top with the ability to share your details directly from here. It will first show you all the information it's about to share, or you can modify it by tapping on this button button and choose exactly what to share or what not to. You can also tap on the card to reveal all the information and then tap on edit to add or remove any of the fields you want. In Google Wallet, transactions are now labeled by the device type. So for example, I made this payment on my phone and it says here purchase made on phone. If I made the same payment on my Pixel Watch, it should say purchase made on watch. The next app is YouTube Music on Android Auto. The media controls got redesigned and now the play and pause button is located on the left with a new design next to the skip tracks. And here's how it looks in full screen view. In Google Home app, when you go to the automations tab and then scroll all the way down, you will see a brand new section for suggestions, which will make it easier for you instead of starting the whole thing from scratch. Moving to Snapseed, when you open the camera, then go to the controls menu, you will see some new changes. The first one is a small preview next to the color theme options. We got the grid lines functionality. You can choose between rule of thirds, 2x2 and golden ratio. And under level, we have 3 options: flat lay, horizon, and tilt. Last but not least, unfortunately, Google updated the backup policy for Android devices on Google Drive, and now all your device data counts against your cloud storage, which includes SMS, call history, and device settings. Google claims that this change will only consume about 40 megabytes in size, which is not massive. So that's pretty much it for today. These are all the new features I wanted to show you in Google Apps, and if you spotted any new change, please reach me out on social media to include them in my future episodes. But for now, thanks so much for watching and see you in the next video.